Okay. I think we're on live. I think it's working. I think it's working. We are today looking at a few fun things that we're playing right now. We're playing a board game right now by the name of the Academy Relics. And with that, let's see, let's go ahead and set it up. And I'll do a round of the game, and so we can get a little example of how it's played. So, all right. Hopefully, we're here. If you leave some chat up there, I will see it. I'm actually looking at the chat this time and paying a little more attention here. I missed a couple that some of you wrote while we were doing stuff, and that was the other day. So I do apologize for missing that. But if I can catch them and I see them, I will respond as soon as I can. So this is a funny little root and tootin' little game here, and I just recently added just a little accompaniment here. This is a plastic model of the Floyd Bateau, and has a little bit of a blinking light action going on. I don't know if you can see that or not, but you can turn the light on and off. You can influence it. So that's kind of the fun of that. I don't think you can even see it. There you see, you can see the blinking flashing light there now. So you can kind of turn them, and it puts a little. You put a battery. It takes a battery. There's a slot there on the front foot, and then you're able to bring the. There you go. You're able to turn the light on. And the light comes on the head. So let's get rolling with the game. Okay, and here it is. This is Academy Relics, the first go. So here we go, and set the dice. Everything's set all the way down to the very end line. So the characters have to make it to the very end here. This is the end of the level field, and there's I should just say board, but there are several fields. There's several fields sections, or you can call them sections. They don't really have a name. And so the first thing you do is you take the spinner here and you put it there and you go ahead and give it a spin. Wherever it lands, whatever square it lands on, is where the players go. So I'm going to start with the small wizard here, small hat wizard, and then next will be the baboon. Next after that is a princess, and then we have a larger hat wizard here. And so they will all make their first move starting with the small wizard. Here we go. And the spinner has landed in this particular square right here, and that is where the first character goes. With 4 players, they can all select which player they'd like to use, and you have up to 4 players in this particular scenario. Okay, never mind these for now. I'll explain these later. And so the next move is going to go to the baboon. Let's see where he lands. And it lands in this spot here. So we will move the baboon to this spot. Now, I'm going to make a selection as to which character I'm going to try to get to the end and win all the other players. And I'm going to choose the large hat wizard. So that's my character, and if I can get him to the end, then I win the game. Otherwise, I lose if any of the other 3 players get there before I. So now it is the princess's roll or spin. Go ahead and take your spin. And it stops right here on this particular square here. So she has now jumped ahead of everybody. Now, there's an interesting thing that can happen. If this spinner happens to run into any of the players, you can knock them out and knock them into the dugout. Sorry, the dugout. I keep saying that. Okay, so then, so the dugout. So they go back into the dugout, kind of like baseball, yeah, and then they come out where there's little stairs, little picture of some stairs here, and you can see. So that tells you where it's at. They come out in this spot up here, so they don't have to go all the way back to the beginning, but sort of like, the third space up. And there are rows here. There are 4 spaces this way, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces this way so far. You can extend the board with more pieces of the system. So we're going to go ahead and have my character take a spin now. And my character has now landed on a spot right here where there is a swoosh galaxy symbol. The swoosh galaxy symbols means that you can warp to any other swoosh galaxy symbol that there is on your next move. So that gives you an advantage if you have one that's a little bit closer to the end, like over here. So I can swoop over there if I wanted to. Then I'll have to spin. Here we go. So the next spin's going to go to the small hat wizard. Here goes. And there's one more really interesting thing that can happen if they land on the same square as another player. And it stops on the third field. So small hat wizard is here. We're getting close. Characters are getting close. Players are getting close to each other. All right, so now it is the baboon's turn. We'll go out of the roll. Okay, and it is stopped here on this particular spot. Let's put it there. Next is the princess. Haha. Okay, she's right around here. She's just about made it to the end. She is winning. And now it is my character's roll. I catch it before it rolls off the edge. And my character has now jumped over to this spot. Now, I could have taken this. Maybe I could still choose it. I don't know, but I've already taken my move, so at that point, it's too late. So I'm going to have to deal with this spot here. Makes no difference. And we will now go over to the small hat wizard. Let's see where the spinner stops. And it stops at the end. The small hat wizard is the winner. Now, so we didn't have any encounters, but if it just so happens that you spin and the spinner stops on a particular player's square. So if this happened to stop here, for instance, for example, then you would have, and this was your player, then you would have to battle over the square. So now these players have to battle over the square, and you battle with this little dice here. And little dice you can roll, and you've got elements. So this could be water, or it could be fireball, or this could be ice. This could be starlight, sunlight. This one could be gemstone. And they would have to be able to, you'd have to have a chart or something to decide, okay, which is going to win over the other. So we'll say ice and fire kind of, they block each other out, but I think that we might be looking more at, like, say, fire would eventually start melting the ice. So now we've got fire melting the ice a little bit, and that would mean we want to know which character's doing what. So let's go and roll for a character. And they have, we'll say wood. Okay. So the player that has moved over to the square is the one who rolls first. And then the defending person rolls, and they got a fireball. So what wins? Fire over wood? I think the fire wins. So it knocks this character back into the dugout. And there they are. And then this character made it just like one right after that, since it was pretty close. So we had a good game. That was a good game. We didn't have any battles. It was a very peaceful game, just a nice race to the end. And that's it. We'll call that good. So with that, there are more pieces and parts to this game as well, like with these guys, the platforms. But, more can just make things confusing. But if these things are in the way, it can influence the way these things bounce together. Oh, I broke that. The way these things roll. So if that could bounce right into that, which means that it wouldn't go over here if it could have, if this wasn't there. Now there's a thing that happens in the game that we're going to set up somehow with the robo incorporation or something fun or something, where, he starts to do something and then he sets the board and says, okay, time to set the board. So it turns a page for you or something, and then you see a page, and then it shows you the setup, and then it tells you, okay, move these, position these in this position like this. And so it tells you to position these platforms, and then they can move your characters. If your characters are standing on those platforms, then it moves your character back a space. So it can move them all over. It can say, oh, we're moving this way. So suddenly the world shifts to the left. So it depends on what the booklet It's either going to be in a booklet or on a exe video game that can join your video, maybe even a video, just a plain video file or something that can accompany you, and then you can play along with the video. And Floyd can stop and play the video at any point using his little magics. So there you go. Something like that I think would be really cool. So next I'm going to go over and look at the Bendu, see how it's doing, and then we're going to take a nice good look at the Bendu and see what's going on. So with that, that's Academy Relics. Just pull yourself up a chair and join in for the game, and I'll have a blast. It's good to see a lot of viewers today. let's see. Let's just do this temporarily real quick. Okay. Okay, here's a fresh look at how Bendu is doing right now. And there it is. Doing fairly well. I've been watching TV pretty much for a while now. I just gave the Bendu a new polish, so it's got a nice shine to it coming along, and it'll be drying up really soon and giving it a nice polished look. It'll also be sealing some things up at the same time. It's a triple solution of glue, polish, and seal at the same time. And from that point, I will then glue the bottom on pretty much as well as possible. I'm also going to put a layer on the bottom of something that holds it very strong. So possibly a plastic. I'm not sure if I can find a wood piece. I'd rather use wood. So wish me luck on that if you'd like. And I wish you guys luck too on any of your projects as well. The joystick needs a little polishing up too, I think. Huh? We'll get to that. But with that, things are working beautifully. If you would like a little demonstration here, let me just, there you go. See, it activates everything just fine. I'm about to run out of power there, but that's it. So the buttons work. It brings up the arrow there and toggles things, and you can get in and use the arrow there. There you are. Okay, you got to click it. Click it. Make sure you're activating the arrow. So it works just fine, and it's working really well. It even does fast move, slow move sometimes, so you can sort of feel it out, see how it works. I'd love to share it with your friends. Have a good day. Thanks.